So I feel like I want to somewhere be a part of just, keeping that heritage. My sister and I have been stuffed into little train compartments and cars and whatnot. And I've traveled a lot with my grandparents as a kid, always like looking forward to travel and to find these kind of spaces.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're currently doing an exclusive interview for issue 13 with none other than Insia Lacewalla. Insia spent a large part of her childhood traveling India with her parents and grandparents and fell in love with the landscape. Her journey travels through a history of forgotten lands, cultures that are fading away, heirloom recipes, and stories of people who not only opened their homes but also their hearts. These stories inspired her to launch India with Insia, a curated Indian traveling platform for the discerning millennial. India with Insia focuses on content around boutique hotels and curated experiences in India. Welcome, Insia. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. And, this is my first video interview. So I'm very like a Zoom kind of interview. So I'm really nervous about it. And I hope my Goan internet really is supportive today.
Oh, we're all hoping the same thing. And we're so glad to have you here. So, in order to break the ice, how about we have a rapid fire session? Okay, so that our audiences can get to know you better. And you'll have like 5 seconds each answer a question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First question. The last book you read?
The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penna. That's yeah.
Oh, that's good. The next city on your bucket list?
Oh, Kanha.
One place everyone should visit when in Goa?
Oh, the Cavalosum Beach up down south.
Okay, I'll make sure to visit that. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I eat a big spoon of ghee.
What dish do you cook best?
Oh, an alio olio, hands down. It's the easiest thing to cook.
That is great. I am sure our audience enjoyed that rapid fire session. All right, so how about we jump into the main interview questions? What do you say?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, let's have a background check. So tell us about your upbringing, a little insight into your family and background.
Okay, so I am a Bombay girl. My parents are from Bombay. My grandparents are from Bombay, and we basically moved to Pune midway through school. My sister and I, my parents, we moved to Pune because my parents wanted us to have a slightly like relaxed upbringing as compared to Bombay. They wanted us to have a space where we could, just like be on our own, skate and cycle and play sport and stuff like that. So I did my school and college in Pune, and then I moved back to Bombay for my postgrad at Xavier's Institute of Communications in Bombay, and then I was in Bombay for the longest time. So my whole childhood has been around summer vacations. I think it's what all kids look forward to. It's the highlight of the year for us. And obviously, when we were in school, summer vacations were like a good 2.5, 3 months. So we were dumped with my grandparents in Bombay, and my parents were just like, it was their vacation time as well. My sister and I have been stuffed into little train compartments and cars and whatnot. And I've traveled a lot with my grandparents as a kid. And I think those are like my most exciting memories of travel. I think a lot to do with who I am as a traveler today. And that's been, I think, my most fond memories also of my childhood.
That's right. I can see that you love your city, the place you were born. I think it inspired you a lot to discover India.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, like, I think Bombay, if you've been there, you'll know that it has its own pulse and it has its own pace as compared to anywhere else that you go. So I feel like that was really nice to grow up with that kind of, like always on the move, constantly doing something.
Well, I'm moving there next month or like a few months to go. So I'll definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I will make sure to contact you whenever I need some advices for Bombay.
Please do. I have a long list of recommendations for you.
That is good. Okay, moving on. So, is there any specific experience that you remember that got you into this industry? Like when you finally realized that this is how you want to spend the rest of your life?
So, I actually went on a motorcycle trip, not riding it, but as pillion for 18 days across Ladakh. And I went with 4 other friends, and 5 of us went on 3 motorcycles. And, it was the first time I was taking a sabbatical between 2 jobs. It was, basically that time where you sort of left one place and you have some time before you join your new place. So I decided to leave my phone behind in Bombay, just packed a bunch of things that I needed for 18 days on a motorcycle, and went on this trip. And I think it just changed my perspective towards travel. It changed my perspective towards the kind of traveler I want to be. Because I think when you travel so rustically, you just let go. You let go of all your inhibitions. You let go of like basic privileges, right? Like there's no hot water in most places. There's no electricity in most places. There was no sanitization program for women at that point. So I feel like there are so many things that you learn on the go and you adapt, and it really humbles you down and makes you really, really modest. And I think that's the kind of traveler I am now. I travel slow, I travel easy. If plans don't work out, if I miss, like catching a train or a flight, or if a hotel is not up to standard, I don't think I'm unfazed. I don't think my whole travel gets ruined by that anymore. Now I'm just like, okay, there will be something else that we can work out. And I think that was like a big inspiration for me to start a platform that focused on that kind of travel.
So you're an easygoing traveler.
Easygoing, very easygoing. I mean, I say that, I don't know about people who travel with me.
Okay. That is great. I love, listening to you about your experiences. That's something that's great, honestly. Okay, moving on. So I did some research and I dug up some information and got to know that you quit your corporate job to become a food and beverage consultant. Was the career switch scary, or were you confident in your passion?
I feel like sometimes when you're young and you make decisions to do something, I feel like you do it on the basis of, at least I did it on the basis of my instinct and my gut. I was in a job that was not making me happy, and I did not want to wake up and do that every day. So I quit and I moved to something else. I don't think there was time to really process the fact that, is this going to be scary? Is this going to be a challenge? Is this change going to be comfortable? I just think there was no time to process any of that. It was just like, okay, I don't want to do this. Started looking for something. I found something interesting. I let it go and I started that. And I think when you're young, you're also okay to start from scratch all over again. And, just take it as it comes. And, touch wood. Fortunately for me, I had a wonderful support system. I think my sister, my family, my friends, everybody like stood by my decision. And I think that was really helpful. And I was able to like very easily adapt into being a consultant or having my own company, and being able to just churn project after project. And I think everything happened so quickly that there was really no time to process the fact that, I don't have a full-time job.
Oh my God, that is great. I mean, you have that quality, that instinct to take risks and follow your heart. Not a lot of people have that. So that is great to have, actually.
I feel like I don't know any other way. So I don't know what it would be like to be any other way.
Well, I love listening to your experiences, but I thought, how about we have a quick would you rather thing? Okay, we'll have would you rather travel edition, since you love traveling.
Okay, well, let's do that.
I have 5 questions here. So let's start with the first one. Would you rather eat Rajasthani or Gujarati cuisine for the rest of your life?
I would eat Gujarati cuisine if you compare it to anything else even.
Okay. Okay, next. Would you rather have an unlimited international first class tickets or never have to pay for your food at restaurants?
You know what? I feel like over time, I've become so loyal to restaurants and that I really like to pay for my food. I feel like they deserve all my money. So I'll take the first class tickets.
Okay. Would you rather live in ancient Greece or ancient Egypt?
Oh, ancient Greece, just purely because of water, just to be by the water and not that much sand.
Oh, you're a water body?
Yeah, I think I completely love it. Also because I live in Goa, I'm really adapted to the water a lot. Grew up in Bombay again by the sea. So yeah, I think just out of instinct.
Okay. Would you rather miss your flight or lose your luggage?
Oh, lose my luggage. I'd really like to get to my destination, and I'm really okay. And I've lost my luggage before. So I'm really okay to, be reimbursed by an airline to buy a lot of new stuff.
That's a great loophole, actually. Okay, last one. Never suffer jet lag or never gain holiday weight?
Oh, never suffer jet lag. Holiday weight is amazing. It makes you feel like you had a good holiday. So yeah, no jet lag.
That was so fun. But let's continue with the rest of our interview questions. The next one. So, not a lot of people know about how a day in the life of a food and beverage consultant goes on, including me. So, would you like to give us a quick glimpse into how does a food and beverage consultant work?
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I think a lot of what I do is now sort of gotten a bit streamlined. So my consultancy work has now been limited to what I do on my travel platform. It's India with Insia, and the focus is to curate content around travel in India for people like you and me who love to travel but don't know where the boutique hotels are, the unique stays are, the unique destinations are, what regional cuisine is, or what underground culture is. So my idea is to constantly do that, which means that I'm always like looking forward to travel and to find these kind of spaces. So a lot of my time in a day usually goes in research, a laptop type of work, which is very unusual because people think that, oh, you're always like on the road eating and drinking and traveling, but that's not the case. It needs a lot of back-end research and a lot of talking to people in those cities, understanding their culture before you travel. So basically my job includes a lot of laptop work. I always say that my laptop's my best friend. It also has its perks in the sense that I get to eat at really nice places, like really nice restaurants, and meet amazing people who started this. People in food and beverage are so passionate. So it's really nice to sort of have access to that. And I also have a full-time day job. I work as a brand strategist for a craft beer company. So I have a lot of work to do in the day for them. I do a lot of curated experiences for them. So I'll end up working with a lot of like artists and chefs and designers and stuff like that. So overall, my day is just like anybody else's day. It's a 10 to 6 day usually. And after 6 p.m., I'm either like eating or drinking. That's it.
Okay, well, even I had assumed that you travel a lot. I had no idea that it takes that much amount of
research. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to travel these days.
I'm glad that stereotype is broken. So you chose to give your followers an insight into the beauty of India exclusively. Why did you not choose an international approach? Is it something about India that really draws you?
I think that I have this, strange kind of paranoia that in a few years, a lot of people are going to forget a lot of cultures that exist in our country because everybody's becoming so contemporary and modern and cosmopolitan. So I feel like I want to somewhere be a part of just, keeping that heritage. I think India itself is like, it's like you look at all of Europe and it's made up of so many countries, and you look at India, it's just like that. Every state is a country of its own. It has its own culture, its own language, its own dress code, its own food. So I think that a lot of people don't know that, at least around the world. And I would like to represent this country in the smallest fashion possible, and share the stories of different cultures, different religions, different cuisines. So which is why I chose India. Also, I think India with Insia just sounds better than international with Insia. So yeah, I think that it was easy.
Wow, the passion that you share for our country is, oh my God, that is great. I think even when I grow up, because I agree that even I'm very modern and cosmopolitan, but I would like to never forget my roots because that's what's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So the industry that you are flourishing in, and I speak because you are flourishing in, it is pretty risky. So do you have any tips for, newbies?
I feel like if you want to travel and if you want to write about travel or culture, it's important that you're factual. It's very easy to review and pass judgment and share opinions, but I think you should be factual when you're doing something. So if you want to write a content piece around, say, traveling to Goa, then be factual about, okay, there is no public transport. hire a cab. This is a number that could help you. Or usually distances are a lot, so make sure that if you want to stay close by the beach, you're staying on the beach. I think it's very helpful if you can give factual information so that other travelers can benefit from this. You can always share your own opinion about places, saying, okay, I stayed here and I really love their food, or I really enjoyed the view from here. But all of that, I think, becomes supplementary to actual information. So I think that's something that I always tell anybody who wants to write, that please just make sure that you're giving the right information out.
Okay, I hope our viewers take that note. That was very informative. Thank you for that. Okay, so in order to end our interview on a really nice note, is there any horrible traveling experience that you wish to never go through that again? Any traveling experience? Because I'm sure you must have quite a few, but just like to share one out of the bag.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I've really never had a bad travel experience. I've been so fortunate, or maybe I've really researched that much that I've really not landed up having a terrible travel experience. Yes, I've fallen sick on some holidays, and I feel like those were not like very pleasant, but I also recovered very quickly, so it was fine. It was not like, oh my God, my holiday is ruined like that. But I've had some I've had some very inspiring experiences. I've been on travel and I've just met people who've inspired me in a way that I did not expect, or I was not looking forward to. Just like maybe bumped into somebody and heard their story and was really inspired by them. So I think I've been very fortunate that way. I've had the right kind of experiences.
Can you share any inspiring experience that you've gone through?
Yeah. Of course. I was actually doing this road trip with Jeep. They had launched their new Compass, and I was doing a road trip down the Konkan coast. I was driving down the Konkan coast, and we had to stop at this one destination called Ganpati Pule, which is where we were staying, and it was pouring. It was the middle of the monsoon. It was pouring. This was also just when the pandemic, people were just coming out of the pandemic. So everything was still closed, and we were just trying to shoot some stuff. And then we realized that it was already 4 p.m. We hadn't eaten anything. And we were driving by one small local restaurant, and there was a lady just standing at the door. And we were like, can we come in? And she's like, no, we're shut. We're like, we're really hungry. So she's like, okay, you park far away and then walk, so then nobody sees your car. So we parked far away and we walked to this place, and we went inside, and she cooked us a proper local thali. She shared her story with me, and I was so touched. Her name is Rekha. She basically is the oldest of 10 siblings, and she has dedicated her whole life to making sure that every sibling of hers was educated, had a job, got married, and she looked after all of them, and she made all of that happen. She never got married. She never fell in love. She never went to school, because she wanted to make sure that the siblings never have to live that kind of life, because they came from poverty. It was so inspiring to meet her. And she's surviving the pandemic. She's running her business, and she's looking after her family. So yeah.
Oh my God, that was so inspiring. I mean, I'm just imagining the moment you met her, and when you're listening to her experience, how amazing it would have been.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just touched all of us. Just stories like these.
Wow, that was inspiring. Okay, this was such a great experience, Insia. I had lots of fun interviewing you, and I learned a lot. Are there any final words for our viewers? Anything they'd like to share?
I would like to say that please travel a lot in India. India has a lot to see, more than Goa and Kerala and Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh. There's a lot. All of Northeast India, the East Coast of India. There's so much to see. Madhya Pradesh. So please travel to India. Support the Indian tourism economy, and don't forget where you come from. That's all.
That was so sweet of you. I am spellbound by the passion you share for India and its culture. You truly are an inspiration to the youth of today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for reminding us to follow our passions, and just reminding us that how much of a treasure India is, and how we should never forget our roots. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.